my god.
Welcome back into the Starfield to all our filthy little stowaways. Today, we're going to geek out on some of our fan theories before discussing a recent interview with this very special dev. As always, I, Joe, will be your faithful captain, joined by my trusty crew, failed teleportation specialist Chase, and our top-of-the-line food replicator sous chef, Zach. How's it going,
We've
guys?
had a few incidents, okay? Saying failed is a little over the top, but we'll call it okay.
This
Well, I mean,
will
I
not
can't make
stay.
real food, Chase, so you're okay. I just replicate it.
Yeah. So, how are you guys doing? You guys feeling good? Feeling good? Excited? Starfield's only a few weeks away?
Excited.
The time, this 2 weeks has felt like the prior 2 months.
It's so
I'm not
long.
okay with it.
Yeah, but you've been sufficing yourself with Baldur's Gate, so.
God, such a good game.
Such a good game.
Ugh.
Our lives are about to change. My whole
Yeah.
routine's just gonna
Completely.
get schnockered.
Just all.
Zach, usually you don't get taken by a game as hard as you used to, so I'm curious to see.
Well, you know, that's because, you know, it's just got to be just good enough.
Oh,
And then once it is, I have no discipline or self-control, so it's just
Nice.
going to ruin my life.
It's gonna be
Nice.
all Starfield all day,
Yeah.
all time.
It's just been like, oh no, what if I booted this up on my lunch break?
oh, it's
possibly
3
go
p.m.
Oh look, we're meeting.
Oh no, is this a meeting that I need to attend? I don't think so. Not if there's Baldur's Gate?
Baldur's
Starfield
Field.
to play?
Baldur's Field, Stargate. Wait, that's already something.
All right, we should mention for our audio listeners, we do record this via live stream on YouTube and Twitch because there is a video element to some of the stuff we talk about. So if you want that, you could go check us out at Happy Pants on Twitch and YouTube.
Sometimes there's a
And
cat.
follow us there. And sometimes there's a cat.
Sometimes there's a cat.
Yeah,
It's
there's
worth
the cat fort behind Zach there.
Oh yeah. Introducing Cat Fort.
Oh yes, with the plants for him to whack down.
Yeah, exactly. It just you never know.
Cat things.
All right,
It's a purple blob, but
are you guys ready to jump into it?
Ready.
Okay.
Take us away.
Before we get to the fun stuff, let's cover the news.
Starfield merch.
There's a bunch of Starfield merch. I was getting this already, and they started like 2 days ago. Like I started seeing things for different merch that was coming out. So none of these are released yet, but they've been announced. So
The jacket's pretty cool.
yeah, so you can't get them, but they came out with actually you can order the jacket. The jacket's the one thing you can order right now.
Let me guess, like $150 or something.
85
oh my god.
for that
okay,
bomber
so-
jacket. It comes with the patch on the right arm, it looks like, and the little zipper that says "Into the Starfield" on
Oh.
the right arm or left arm pocket.
Are they copying us?
Yes, we came up with this slogan. The inside is lined with the gravity map that you see
Ooh,
floating in
yeah.
the background here. So
Cool.
that's really cool. But yeah, it's $85. You can buy it on Insert Coin Clothing. And
If
it
it's
says,
a good quality jacket, that's not that bad.
yeah, it looks pretty nice. And it says it should be releasing early to mid-September.
Dude,
But you can pre-order it right now.
Just like the game.
Yeah.
damn, I'm gonna lose money to the merch, but maybe not even the game. Like I might lose I could see losing 10 hours to the game, which is nothing at all, stopping it, but having all of the merch because everything just looks so damn good.
This is
Like
the new
that
form
chair,
of,
man. I
of
would pay for that.
microtransactions.
Yeah. Like forget the microtransactions. If you're gonna sell me a really good quality product for a reasonable price that I actually need, of course I'm gonna buy it.
Well, what's the
It's
evolution
not-
of microtransactions? Go from digital content to real life content.
Yeah,
We're
it's
going
not
backwards.
in-game cosmetics.
happening?
It's out-of-game cosmetics.
There
Out
you
of
go.
game cosmetic.
Exactly. The next one, if we're moving left to right, there's a chair by Noble Chairs. They're making a special limited edition Starfield chair. It's not, you can't order it yet. It is on their site. I don't know when it comes out, but I believe based on the chair model that it is, it's going to probably be somewhere around $700.
Jesus.
God damn.
Yeah.
Why? But
Expensive.
But why?
They make expensive chairs. I think their cheapest is like $500.
Dude,
Okay.
my butt sits in that. I mean,
Maybe.
actually, maybe that's an
Not
argument.
Depending
yours.
on how many hours a day you sit in
Yeah,
that chair,
right, exactly.
might be
Like,
worth
if
it.
I'm going to be a sedentary blob of flesh, I might as well spend some good money on a comfy chair.
Yeah.
Well, Noble Chairs, if you're listening to this, send us one, please. Or 3.
Yeah, we'll do a
Send us
review.
3.
Yeah, we'll do a review.
Yeah. And
I
then I'll
will
keep
personally allow a cat to test your chair.
Oh,
It's a good
I'm
way to
sure
ruin a
he'll love
chair.
depending on the cat.
Yeah. The third one here is AMD is doing kind of a promotion. I don't know if you can call it a promotion, but they're making 500 limited edition Starfield themed, let me get this right, Radeon RX 7900 XTXs and 7800 X3D CPUs. So it's like
I don't know what any of
it's
those
like
are,
both of their
man.
top of line GPU and CPU.
That's goofy. Imagine buying an overpriced card and then sticking it in your machine to never see it again.
Guess what?
What?
You don't have to buy it. They're giving them away.
Oh.
They're making only 500 and they're doing
Okay.
giveaways. They haven't
Okay.
announced how they're doing the giveaway or how to sign up for it yet.
Okay.
But we will make sure, I'll make sure to post somewhere when we find that
Yeah.
out. So we may have to talk about it in our next video,
I have to check the watts on that for my winter space heater.
right?
Yeah.
Guaranteed
they'd
if
be
I won
right.
one of those, I would make a separate Starfield themed machine just to have there.
Yeah, how
Same
efficient
here.
is that compared to my electric baseboard heater? It's probably a little bit more efficient.
Probably about
Well,
the
actually,
same.
no. I mean, it's just a resistor, so the watts you get in is the watts you get out. Pretty much.
But it's probably a better heat output.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be
100%
playing
efficient
Starfield
baseboard
through the
heater.
winter anyways, so I'll just
Yeah,
run
right.
that instead of my heater.
No need
That's crazy.
for the extra electricity bill.
Yeah.
All right, that's that news. Let's move on to achievements.
There we
leak.
go.
Starfield Beyond, it's a well-known leak source, was messaged this image, the little tag there, that is the Steam pages achievements tracker for
Yeah.
Starfield, shows 50 achievements at launch, which is a lot of achievements, but it's also similar to Skyrim and Fallout 4, which also both launched with 50 achievements. So
Does
it
it
looks like
have the actual named achievements?
he doesn't have the named achievements at all in this.
Oh.
Just that there
So
will
it's
be
hardly
50.
a leak.
It's hardly
Just
a leak.
that
It's a
there's
very,
50
very
of them?
tiny leak. Yes, it's that there is 50. There will be 50 at launch, supposedly, unless they add more between now and then. But
Did they add more for like the expansions that came out?
yeah,
Okay.
in the DLCs
That would make
and
sense.
whatnot. So that's why it said at launch they'll start with 50.
Yeah.
It seems, which is still a lot. So there's going to be a lot to do in Starfield. There's going to be a lot to achieve.
You ever notice that gamers who are really into a game and are very hyped about it are basically like hound dogs for information?
Oh yeah,
They're like blood sniffing
It's-
hound
it's
dogs
crazy.
looking for anything.
Forget waiting 2 extra weeks. We gotta see how many achievements you'll get now.
I want to know anything at
Well,
all.
it's-
Please, God.
to think someone might have risked their job for this.
Oh my god. At
Right.
Bethesda? Oof.
Right.
Whoa.
Jesus.
That was probably data mined. There's no way.
Yeah, I
somebody
don't know.
probably just playing around on Steam was like, oh my God, I learned.
But
Yeah.
I guess he didn't give his source though, so I guess maybe it's this guy.
Is that?
I don't know.
What?
It's not in English.
It's
so
not in English. Yeah. So. Huh,
Strange.
interesting.
all right. Next bit of news. There's a dev Q&A coming up on August 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern time with Will Shin and Emil Pagliarulo. I believe Will Shin is the lead quests developer, and Emil Pagliarulo on the right is a director of some sort, design director. That's what he is.
Nice.
So yeah, and so there's a interview, or not interview. There's basically a Q&A with them. They've been accumulating questions on the Discord for the Q&A. That ended 2 days ago. Now they're just kind of going through them, and they're going to answer a bunch in a live stream on the 16th. So if you want to join into that, I believe that's just going to be a live stream on Twitch or YouTube.
Nice.
Okay.
I think honestly, I've delved deep enough into Starfield info that I want to,
You want to stay out of it.
I
will
kind of wanna.
I will be watching it We will maybe discuss some of it. I'll try to keep it not very spoilery.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll peruse I'll peruse the questions they've answered and see if I want to hear the answer to any of them.
Right. So yeah, so I'll let you know. I'll maybe try to give you just snippets so you can know what to look at. But yeah, and that's so if you want to sign up, I guess you don't need to now, but Constellation members on Discord could have gone and done that. And there's a whole system for becoming Constellation member. There will probably be other things that they do for Constellation members. So if you want to, I did do a how-to video on how to sign up to be a Constellation member.
Oh my goodness, look at you.
Yeah, that is on our channel. So go check that out. Yeah, let's move on to the next bit. Xbox at Gamescom. They're supposed to have the largest booth at Gamescom, from what we're told. There will be Bethesda there. None of them have said that Starfield will be there, from what I've read. But if we look at Xbox's banner for Gamescom, which is what I've used for this thumbnail, it's kind of evident that it will be. For sure.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. They're definitely.
That's the only thing in the background.
It is actually I put that part in the background, but the
you
foreground,
son of a bitch.
The foreground is this like the city that they're going to be at, and I forget, it's in Germany, and then the Xbox logo, and all of it going up. I put the thing in the background because it's basically the same style image. It's got the whole like lights going up and everything, so it was kind of to show the similarity, which is why. Obviously, they're going to talk about Starfield there. It's the week before launch. They're gonna talk about Starfield, so they're probably gonna give a lot of new information there.
When is that happening?
That is happening the 24th through the 27th.
Nice. Zach, where are you?
It's just left.
My mouse died. I gotta get the cable going.
I see you peeking your head back in.
That's pretty much the news. If you have any questions or you think that there's something you want us to talk about, or any news that you found, make sure to put it in the comments so that we can get to it next time. I should mention that because of these two events, I've decided we're going to do one more of these before Starfield launches. So originally we were going to do one and then Starfield launch, and that first weekend after Starfield launch, do our first impressions of Starfield. I'm changing that up a bit. We're gonna wait for Gamescom to end, and then that weekend we're gonna do another one where we'll cover the Q&A and Gamescom information.
Probably a lot of juicy info there.
A lot of juicy info, and then we're going to wait 2 weeks and do another one with our first impression. So it'll actually be the second weekend after Starfield has launched that we will be doing actually, technically it will be the first weekend after it launched, but not after the early release. So yeah, before we were going to do it on the 3rd, now we're going to do it on the 10th.
Nice.
For our first impressions. So keep an eye out for those. I'll make sure to set up those streams so you know when it's coming. But yeah.
Did Joe just give us clickbait? Yep.
What?
He did. He's pretty bad about it.
What about
didn't
this
mean to,
clickbaity?
but he did.
Oh, because of the background? Because I fooled you?
Fooled me. They should have had you design the banner for Gamescom.
Right? I would not have come up with that foreground image. I can take two images and merge them together. Ooh, bumped. But I'm not going to come up with a whole brand new image. I'm not that kind of artist. All right. Well, that's it for the news. And now it's time to discuss some fan theories. So let's bring the ship around and dock with the speculation station. Now, as a reminder...
There it goes. Okay. We're a few seconds behind. Sorry.
Yeah. To all those with itchy fingers in the comments who are getting ready to push up their horn-rimmed glasses and give out a healthy dose of, actually, this part is not for the faint of heart. But for those of you daring to dream, join us as we embark into the hypothetical. Do you like that?
That was great.
I do.
Thanks for that, Joe.
Thank you.
I love the theatrics, Joe.
Yeah.
You go all out.
Good.
Now, on our last episode, we talked about space magic. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about space magic, especially correcting us in saying, I don't think it will be actual magic. It's going to be some sort of advanced technology, which is exactly what we kept saying and have been saying. And I've been paraphrasing a quote, and so I finally went and just found the quote. It's from Arthur C. Clarke. It's, any sufficient advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about when we talk about space magic. Extremely advanced technology.
Because it's sci-fi, you have to be concerned with how everything works.
Right.
So, like, how the spacesuit keeps you from dying when you walk out on the planet, how the ship can warp, all that. Like, they have to have a scientific explanation for everything. So, of course, there will be one for the space magic, too.
Speaking of ship warping, so we did have an interesting comment, almost a correction, from one of our viewers, Mr. Melancholy 7698. He said, we do have a word for it from a few Todd interviews, which is gravity bending. He mentions it harkening back to the warp drive, but he makes it sound like the magic is gravity bending. So,
right, they're like, you bring the space to you or something like that.
Right, so we had talked about the possibility of, say, like it being reality bending. But he's saying that Todd has, in some interviews, mentioned gravity bending. However, from this comment, it sounds like Todd was maybe talking about the warp drive technology, like saying it bends gravity to move you forward. Like maybe they're talking about the lore behind that. So I'm not sure whether or not Todd's just talking about the warp drive and then moved on to talking about space magic, or was talking about them both.
No, I understand. We were talking about the magic being reality bending.
Right.
And he's saying that the magic is gravity bending. When Todd was talking about it, it was just how the warp drive works.
Right. Well, I don't know where this interview, because he seems to mention.
I recall what he's talking about. You recall
this part? Okay.
Yeah, it was just Todd explaining the mechanics of, like, there's an actual theory for how a warp drive would work, and that's what they based it on.
So yeah, if it's that part, then yeah, it's definitely just about the warp drive. But if there's a different clip from one of the interviews that we're not thinking of, please make sure to give me a timestamp. I couldn't think of where to find this to double check it, but I would love a timestamp for this.
Oh, I see. Yeah, there might be another one where he talks about the magic being gravity bending.
Correct.
Right.
So
interesting.
So I do want, putting it out there for anyone to find. This one, I really do want the actually. So
give me the sauce.
Give me the sauce. I want the sauce. But yeah, gravity bending technology. So maybe different types of gravity effects that could be done, because that's the one that we do see is a gravity effect, right?
Yeah, but like you said, they just go limp.
Right. That's the only
they'd be flailing around, you know.
Right. It doesn't seem to just be gravity. Well, and if it was just gravity, right, then we see zero gravity combat. Why aren't they still shooting?
Yeah, they would be fine. They would have the capacity to deal with that. So
right. So yeah. So that's why maybe not, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
Zach, you got anything to say about that?
Nah, man. I want magic to go bloop doop and send us to space. That's all I want.
Zach, do you want there to be an explanation for the magic, or do you want it to be like the only mystical part of the science fiction?
I want it to be at least not explained.
Like maybe there's an understanding that there is a technological advance, but we just are not capable.
It's out of our scope.
Yeah,
because
we are
it's
not
not
capable to figure it out.
It's I mean, the way that they're presenting it is that it's a discovered technology from an ancient civilization. So I would prefer it to be that civilization is so much farther advanced than the humans at the time that it's just not feasible for us to technically understand it. It's just not.
So we can wield it, but we don't understand it.
Right. We don't truly understand it, or its implications, which is very typical of the man who discovers something and then doesn't really understand the far-reaching implications of it, because then there's plot points and then it goes on and on and on.
Okay. I like that too. Keeping the mysticism there.
Mm-hmm. Zach, do you have 2 coffee cups?
This one is agua.
Okay.
With a llama.
I just like that you've got this one really big, wide, short cup that like covers your whole face when you sip from it. That one.
You just go fast.
There you go.
I have warp drive right there.
That's our warp drive technology.
Oh, no.
Someone fire up the Keurig.
My dude.
Yeah. Right.
So our next fan theory here is from Turbo558. He said, as for magic in the game, I think it'll be somewhat along the lines of Sirens in Borderlands lore. Not all of their powers, but a similar vibe. For example, Angel was able to manipulate technology, which is pretty much what you guys talked about. Because we did talk about at the end maybe being able to like overload systems and stuff with your mind.
Well, you can like control the ship or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah. Ship stuff.
Right. So in case anyone's not familiar with Borderlands, in the Borderlands series, there's these things called Sirens. I think there's only ever supposed to be 7 Sirens. And when one dies, another Siren or another person is gifted with the Siren tech or abilities. And they're essentially magic wielders. And they have different types of magic.
Do they ever explain the magic, or is it just like, yeah, they have it now?
Yeah, it just kind of picks someone at random. So yeah, so someone gets the ability to do technology, another person, and you kill Angel in like, spoiler of a really old game, but in like Borderlands 2, I think you kill Angel, and then in Borderlands 3, also several years old, you find out that someone has gotten those abilities. But
I never dug into the lore or the deep lore of that, so I was always just like, yeah, this person has magic. Okay.
Yeah, so it's always 7, and they're different types of abilities, and they just have that ability. So it might be cool. What this is basically saying is maybe we'll come across other people who have abilities as well, but they're
Adam says they can
abilities.
be passed down too. So like,
oh yeah,
to children maybe. Do they get the tattoos, or do they like?
Yes, the Siren
part
thing
of
is yeah. The tattoos are part of the Siren thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I want someone to steal our space magic.
Oh, steal it.
Why would you want that?
Interesting.
Yep, I want there to be a plot twist where you just don't get it anymore, and you have to live life without all that luxury.
Or
for a
get
hot
it
minute.
back.
I hate that mechanic in games where they're
Nope.
like, now you don't have the power that you've had, and now you have to get the power back. But once you get it back, it'll be stronger than it was before. I hate that.
Chase,
Yeah.
don't play Superland.
Superland. I just remember
Superland.
in Prototype.
You go
In
through
Prototype.
Oh, well, Prototype
that.
did it so annoyingly. Like, that was super annoying. That
Well, you
was not fun.
you go through Superland having to like get money to buy upgrades, and then right towards the end, some little shit or some little jerk steals all of your upgrades and heads off into Blue Town, and then gives them away to the merchant there, who way overprices them, and then you have to get money to buy them back again so that you
That
can
sounds-
finish the game.
I don't like that.
Why? Yeah, why?
It
Why
was-
do that to the player?
It's like a
that
last
doesn't make any
puzzle.
sense.
It's like a last puzzle. That map there has all of the coins that you would need to get to buy all of it back, but it's still just like, I could get to that coin if only I had the thing that I'm trying to get that coin for.
I hate that.
Oh,
I hate it.
that's haunting.
I hate it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
My experience with that type of plot was from like the Nintendo Metroid series stuff, where you have it all to begin. You have some of it right out of the gate,
Mhm.
and then usually you wind up getting like yeeted into space and some explosion happens.
Don't they do that to like tease you with the abilities you'll get? You can get later, and then they're like, "Oh, now you don't have them." Oh no.
Well, they tease you like what kind of the feel of what the game's gonna be like later on, mid level of the game, but you wind up getting way more than just that.
I feel like that's different though, where it's like they're teasing it, they're showing you what like you
Exactly.
can become, and then they're like,
And that's kind of what I would
Gotta earn it.
prefer is like, oh, here's a tease, like, yes, you've got it, but it was actually just to show you
Right.
what's up.
yeah, I'm
All
fine
right.
with that.
Well, before we spend too much time on this, let's move on to our next fan theory by Frank F5486. He says, I just had a thought. What if the technology that we are looking for in Starfield is Dwemer technology? What if we finally find the Dwemer and they have traveled into space? So for all of you
What's
Elder
that?
Scrolls nerds or fans, maybe they're Dwemer, ancient Dwemer, advanced ancient Dwemer. And that's where the Dwemer went,
No,
is into
please
space.
don't do that. We can
No,
have a
we-
new IP. We don't have to have. We don't have to do that.
Oh man, it's just they.
The man
You're gonna
just
find
wants
the
an
Dwemer.
explanation for what happened to the Dwemer. It's okay.
One
I
second.
don't want to see it in
But you will.
Starfield though.
I want there to be a whole planet that's the Skyrim planet.
The
I
Dwemer
already
went to the
said that.
Soul Cairn. Is that true? So they all got soul trapped or something?
What if the soul cairn was just one of these teleportation rings that we have, and it's just that's where they went? Boom, boom.
Please don't do that.
No, it's probably not, but it's fun to dream.
It's fun to wish that we would get an explanation for what actually happened to these guys.
Yeah.
Mystery is nice.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the end of the ones from comments. I found a couple of theories on Reddit that are just kind of fun. So this one is someone's theory on the aliens that created the artifacts. He says the aliens who created the artifacts are long extinct, having disappeared in mass after activating the artifact in their quest to reach unity at the center of existence.
These are all
Assembling
links.
the
Do they actually have...
I don't know where these go to. I didn't click on the links.
Okay.
Assembling the artifacts creates a portal that links to a network of long abandoned and dilapidated tomb worlds scattered across the galaxy, each covered in great monolithic structures that have since been reclaimed by nature. There you will fight strange alien automata that guard their former master's domain. With the powers you discover within the tomb worlds, you'll then return to the settled systems and single-handedly put an end to the war that has just broken out between the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective. Does this sound familiar to anyone?
Skyrim, perhaps?
Halo?
I mean, that too.
The long extinct ancient beings being the what are they called? Not precursors.
Not
precursors.
the predators.
There's precursors, and then there was the forerunners. Yes, and then there's the Covenant and everything. But so yeah, so it sounds like the forerunners who activate the Halo, which destroyed everything. So
it's too much.
I think someone else
mentioned Skyrim, though.
I think someone else
because
also
it's
mentioned Stargate. It's just a
you have the two warring factions, and then the guy with all the abilities comes in and solves everything. The Dragonborn, you know.
I think the point here was to is just to make a point about sci-fi tropes.
Right.
It's a common theme. But
yeah,
I thought it was funny because I was reading that. I was like, are they making a Halo joke? And then I went and looked at the comments. I was like, oh, right. Everywhere. Everyone does this.
Yeah, I hope. I don't know. I feel like Bethesda can tell better stories than that. Like Fallout 4, I thought was pretty cool with the time jumps and all that. Like, I'm curious to see them not do a trope.
Right.
Come up with something new.
Okay.
Neither am I.
So our next fan theory comes from also Reddit. Hanno Picard the Sixth says, "You think we'll see something like dinosaurs and/or enclosures featuring rare and exotic wildlife on some planets? Basically Jurassic Park, but space Jurassic Park."
I would like that. That sounds great.
Right? It's just a place you can go visit, and then maybe things get out of hand.
I would love that. Please, let's let the giant predatory animals destroy the whole facility.
And if not, make a mod that does that.
Yes.
Correct. That's the other part of this. That's why I want to go over fan theories, because it's very good. It's very good for mod content, right? If it's not in the game, it can be in the game.
Someone's gonna make it.
Yes.
They just
Jurassic World.
Yes.
You go to the world.
It's literally a world. It's better than the movies.
Yeah.
Where it's still an
high.
island. Okay. And the next one is also from Reddit. Thanks to Instameet, he noticed there's a flash in the direct. There's this mysterious book that he keeps wondering about. And we don't know anything about it.
In the future.
Well, it's a very old book. If you look at it, it's like leather bound. It's got latches on it, or like a latched strap here.
Yeah.
And then it's also got something interesting on top of it. So, not sure what it is, but really strange, especially in the future, right? We already don't need books for much now. Think about a couple hundred years in the future. Would something like this even exist, except for in, I don't know, some strange lore-based, mystical reason? What secrets does it hold?
Yeah.
And is that Jack Sparrow's compass on top of it?
Wait, is that even a compass though? That looks more like
what it is.
That looks like a I know.
It looks like a bauble just sitting on top of the book.
Well,
It's
it
a
looks
measurement tool.
Like, yeah, well, what is a compass?
That's a direction navigation
It's a type
tool.
of measurement.
No.
But it's, yeah, it's like this little white box, but it definitely looks like the lid is open, and I don't know.
Oh, you think that whole thing is part of it?
Yeah. Not sure though.
It'd be interesting to see the actual clip, just to see, like, because I don't know.
I think this is just kind of a flash. I didn't go look for the clip, but I think it's just kind of a flash.
I think in this sequence, though, it was showing, like, it would be like half a second or whatever. You might be able to see, like, some depth to it instead of just the 2D image.
Maybe. But yeah, so it's a little interesting. It does definitely stand out. I think the book stands out most because it's just, what is that for? The Jack Sparrow idea wasn't mine, but one of the comments pointed out that what if it's Jack Sparrow's compass? The astronaut grabs it, looks at it, and it points directly at a sandwich.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cute. All right, our last fan theory. This is my theory. Yep. And it's something I thought about a while ago. I think in our first episode, we talked about the possibility of similar species of creatures on different planets and how weird that would be. And then Chase, you said, well, what if it's like an invasive species, like the Brainsprouts are spreading across the galaxy? And I liked that idea. And I heard something else from someone about a Parasite idea, which I was already thinking about. And so I thought I'd bring this up. What if Brainsprout, right, is not this creature, but instead the little tentacles that are coming out of it? What if Brainsprout is a parasite that infects other creatures and morphs them a little bit, zombifies them a little bit, right? Makes them aggressive or whatnot so that it can spread, and that's how it's spreading throughout the galaxy. There is a part in the most recent trailer where there's a line there that says human settlements throughout the galaxy could be at risk. And it's spoken with extreme urgency. So it seems like it's possible that there's maybe some sort of infectious creature or thing that's spreading.
That could be fun.
Yeah. And so that's why I was thinking when that dev said Brainsprout was his favorite thing, people might think, and they showed this, maybe, I mean, this is probably just called Brainsprout, but maybe they're burying the lead just a little bit, and it's just these little tentacle things that morph every creature, which could be really cool. That
could be cool. Mm-hmm. That'd be a whole quest line for stopping the spread of Brainsprouts.
Correct.
Jurassic World.
Maybe there'll be people with Brainsprouts.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That's what you said, right? Zombified people or whatever.
Yeah, just zombified.
Man, they can do all the tropes in this game. They've got the cowboy trope, maybe the
they can literally
trope,
do anything.
The space pirate trope. Like, what do you want? What else do we need?
What you want?
Basically, they're like, this is a buffet.
Yeah.
But it's a good buffet.
It's very good buffet.
What is this?
All right.
Part of the buffet.
So that's the last fan theory. Let's move on to our next section. Interview with the Sandwich Queen.
Who did this? Who's responsible for this image?
I don't know. I found it on Discord.
It's legendary.
Yeah. So it's great. It's perfect. It sums up her. But they did an interview. I mean, Bethesda's done an interview with several of its devs. She is, I think, by far everyone's favorite Starfield dev at this point.
Just I'm hungry now.
The things that she's done, her animal ships and the sandwich.
Oh yeah, the aardvark ship. I want that thing, man. It's such a good idea.
But yes,
platypus. Yeah, whatever it was.
Yes,
animal-based ships. I love it.
So they did an interview with her, and she talks a lot about how she came to the company. I think she originally was working in some sort of finance, like she got her degree in some sort of economy or finance thing, and she worked at a couple of times worked at a convention for Bethesda stuff or something. Somehow she came to know someone at id Software, She had a friend that was working for id Software, got her in to id Software. She started working on Doom 2016, and then she got moved over to Bethesda and started working on Starfield as, I think she's a producer on Starfield. So she manages a team that works on stuff. Now, here's the interesting thing. She gave some cool information. She worked on a team that had a lot of people from Doom 2016 that worked on the Doom 2016 snap maps. And they used that team to build the ship builders.
Snap maps?
Yes. So I'm going to play a video. I found this video of someone who's going through Doom 2016 snap maps and what you could do with it. And then I kind of put it side by side with what we saw from Starfield. So on the right is Doom 2016. On the left is Starfield.
Is that a map editor? Is that for
It's a map editor in the game.
Okay.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so it's just, I wanted to show a side by side of what this is and how they might have used that technology to build Starfield's shipbuilder.
Yeah.
So we can see this might actually be really good. Like, this is going to be a really nice editor, because they had a team that had already worked on it, basically. Like, worked on the first version, and now they're working on the second version.
Yeah, it's like actually 3D now.
Correct.
I mean, one of the biggest gripes I had with like Fallout 4 was that when you were base building, stuff just did not. Yeah, like they had snapping features, but it just was never fun to use.
Right.
It was just not great. And like, I had to mod the hell out of it before it was usable.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a little clunky, is what
And
I'd
then
say.
they showed them going into it and how it's basically empty now, and then they start filling it with clutter and things like that, which on the left you can see in Starfield, things have already been added to it to give scenery, like couches and stuff like that. But kind of this gives an idea of how that sort of stuff might be done.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
sick.
Barrels, crates.
Yeah.
This was a cool thing. She managed the team that worked on this for Starfield. She managed the team that worked on it for Doom 2016. So really cool that they basically implemented that same team for this and used the technology that they already had developed.
It'll be nice if they have like preloaded props in the rooms instead of having to, because I'm so bad at I'm so bad. Like I'm just not creative when it comes to.
I'm just gonna have empty starships.
Yeah, I don't want that. I want to have like one of the devs populated, and then it's like, I'll take the stock.
But there are going to be people that want it completely empty so they can do it all themselves.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe there's an option to randomize it.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Zach, how you feeling? From a developer standpoint?
I love it.
Yeah.
That big head, the big flat head, I love that.
Nice.
There was a couple spaceships that I see in the preview that were like definitely up my alley.
So
and I'm disappointed that this is going to be like expensive in late game. It's going to definitely tide me over because I'm going to want to get to this point. But like
player.add item gold a million.
Because
I
mean it's single player, so of course.
Yeah. Now they didn't only work on the shipbuilder. Her team she also supported star maps, terminals, which is where you go to build out your ship and stuff like that. Mission boards, she mentioned, which got everyone fired up for some reason, as if they were concerned there might not be mission boards in a Bethesda RPG. But they're all mission boards confirmed. When this interview came out, and
is that like a quest board?
Yeah,
where you go to the board and you get quests from it. Okay.
Right, exactly, which is pretty standard. So
yeah,
they haven't shown us those at all, so we don't know what that looks like. But
yeah,
it's got everyone excited, so why not mention it? She also supported the streaming strike team in optimizing the game. So touched a lot.
Streaming strike team and what are you talking about?
So she called it the streaming strike team, and that they worked a lot on optimizing the game and the technology for the game. So I'm assuming so that it's weird for it to be called streaming, but I would guess that so that streaming works well. I don't know. Yeah.
I think that it might even literally be like data streaming.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like seamless loading between
all
the different worlds and everything.
The game does require an SSD, so
Yeah, make it extra quick.
And then in her final bit of the interview, she talked about how her favorite part of the game is the faction storylines, how they're extremely large and well thought out, and she urges everyone to go ahead and stray from the path and do these faction storylines because they're apparently amazing. So could just be marketing, but
I highly doubt that.
I highly doubt it. It seems like faction storylines is very strong in Bethesda's DNA. So.
You've bought the game. They won at that point, you know. So
Right.
pointing players to the fun stuff makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there's these bits. Don't forget about them.
Well, and
Yeah,
a lot of
'cause you
players
could
think
skip 'em.
that the main story, like faction storylines, are usually way better than main storylines in Bethesda games.
Yeah, they do really good faction storylines. So
I don't know if I agree that it's better. I would say they're probably on par, but I consider them like other main storylines, right? And then usually Bethesda does a good job in the base game of kind of rounding out the main storyline and wrapping it all up. And then DLCs are just more faction storylines, basically.
Sure.
Right? Like, I mean, I can't think of another Bethesda DLC that added anything to the main storyline.
Well, you don't add to the main storyline, but usually it's like, here's a new location with its own. It's just like a smaller version of the game.
It's usually with its own faction and
or
doing
like
stuff for that
three
faction.
factions. Like
Right,
Far
or-
Harbor, it was like, here's a whole new area. It has its own main story with 3 different factions, and you can decide who comes out on top.
Correct.
So it's just the same. It's just like the same formula, but smaller.
Correct.
Usually.
So it's essentially a new main storyline. I don't know. It's weird. It's just not. It's not like most games where they come out with a DLC that goes, aha, well, you finished the main game. Now there's a new threat that is threatening the galaxy with our same faction, right? You need to go and continue your story here.
Adam mentioned Fallout 3's Broken Steel. I'm pretty sure that extends the storyline. They're like, hey, what happens if you do other shit with the Brotherhood of Steel?
But Brotherhood of Steel is a separate faction. I guess
No, it's the same faction from the main story. It's just, it continues the story a little bit. Like you and Liberty Prime go palling around for a little bit, for like the main mission.
I gotta confess, I didn't play too far into Fallout
He said
3.
no. I might be wrong. It's been a long time since I've played Broken Steel.
Immediately backsteps.
I'm just admitting I might be wrong. It added open world gameplay. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so
anyways.
I would imagine that, I mean, there's plenty of room for DLC in Starfield. But it does seem like, as from what we know of their main story so far, it's pretty mysterious. It could very well open it up for DLC that does expand the main storyline.
Yeah.
So maybe
I
things
just hope
will
they
get wrapped up so neatly this time.
I hope they do something to match Shivering Isles, because there's never been a DLC that has been as good as Shivering Isles.
What'd you like so much about Shivering Isles?
Oh my god, the place, they did the same thing where they're like, here's a new map, a new area with its own story, its own factions, yada yada yada. But the world, it was just so fantastical. And I mean, having like the mania and dementia sides, and I don't know, it's just like, it was a treat, every bit of it. So I think it's just, they did the same formula, but they did it so well. But it is interesting to make that parallel, that it was basically the same formula as all their other expansions. So they just did it really good that time.
Okay.
Yeah, the insanity, it was just, because it fits so well, because Oblivion was such a janky, like goofy game, you know, and then having everyone just insane, it just fits so well. You can become a god and control the island. It was just
That sounds fantastic.
yeah.
All right. Well, that about does it for our special topic. We're going to move on into our community spotlight. Now, in the past, we've kind of rushed through the community spotlight, I feel. I haven't generally mentioned who did the fan art or whatnot. And I want to get better about giving credit where credit's due. So we're going to kind of slow things down. We're going to make sure to really look at these and admire them. I'm going to make sure to mention who did it, as well as still give the links in the description after the fact. So you can go find these on your own. So the first one we're going to look at, there is a Starfield map. Navigator. Starfield Navigator. Let me pull my notes over here. Okay. This was created by Sebastian Warhausen. Warhausen? Sorry if I got the name wrong. It's built based on clips from the various videos.
Oh my god, they go all out.
Yeah, he went and looked at every time they pulled up the star map. They looked at the planets that showed up and where they were kind of located in reference to each other. They ran it through a program that they developed to kind of map it out using C++.
Wow.
And you can adjust the jump ranges and stuff to like plan out jumps here. You can kind of zoom around. He also.
Oh, so this isn't a picture. You actually have the whole thing up.
Oh yeah, no,
Holy
I pulled this up just now.
Okay.
Let's zoom this down. So, yeah, you can kind of look around. So, there's names here. If you consider those spoilers, I don't know.
I mean, they're real planets. So
Close your eyes.
look at this guy.
Yeah, a lot of them, and he mentioned that a lot of these are like from what he found were real planets. He shows the clips that he got it from here.
So click on a different system. Is it you're looking at a system and those are the planets? Those are the rings?
Yeah, this is just to map things. So the green lines are where you can jump with the current.
Yeah, but the current those rings there, the set of rings.
That looks like jump range.
I was gonna say.
Oh, I see
like
what you're
system.
saying.
You're clicked on a.
That looks like where
system,
you're
right?
located.
Click on a different one.
You got to change the to here, or from. Select from. Yeah, I don't know what the rings are for.
Okay.
It's just the center rotation.
Oh,
It's a little buggy.
Yeah.
Once you select something, oh, I guess I got to go into camera mode. There we go.
Yeah, that wouldn't be ring. That wouldn't be orbits.
It's Sol. It's the Sol system.
You're probably right, Zach. That's jump range. That makes sense.
Or just like units of jump range, like 1, 2, 3, 4
Yeah.
light years or something.
Yeah, no idea. But he does go through a big explanation of how they went about doing this, how they made this, what information they used to build it, how they rendered it. Very
Damn.
in depth
Wow.
on this.
That's crazy.
So if you want to look at that, if you're interested in that sort of thing, make sure to go check that out. I'll put the link in the description as always. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Some dude was like, man, I need a project, and I might as well be this.
Something
And it
to
might as
do.
well.
Colt rated with the viewer 1.
Yo.
Oh my god.
That's
Welcome.
amazing.
Raids. It's about damn time we start doing
Thank
that
you,
kind of
Colt.
shit.
All right.
Oh, hell yeah.
So our next fan content, community spotlight. Oh my goodness, let me get over here. Is this.
Small steps for big glory. Yes.
All right, someone created some Starfield themed crates as just hard renders. So they're hard surface renders.
Oh, nice.
These look really nice. I assume these can probably be found somewhere. I reached out to them for links on where these the 3D model files can be found. So, but I haven't heard back from them yet. When I get that, that'll go in the description for this. But I assume these could be used for mods, maybe 3D printing if you want these, but they look really cool. So it's like a little lunchbox or I don't know, something here. And then this is like a longer, I don't know, rifle crate, maybe.
I like how scuffed up they look.
Yeah, like they've been thrown around a bit.
Yeah.
They've encountered 0G a few times.
Yeah. They're well loved.
Or maybe like 5G. Who knows?
Oh.
5G.
This was created by 7-Bit Retro. He posted it on the BGS Discord. So if
Nice.
you want to find some stuff, people are posting things in the BGS Discord all the time, and they're usually some pretty cool stuff.
Subnautica vibes. That's interesting.
Oh, from these? Yeah, kind of. I mean, it makes sense.
Maybe
It's
Yeah.
You're
outer
kidding
space.
me. One of these
grungier.
looks like a shoebox, and the other one is clearly a Mac Mini. Like the inspiration is clear here.
A Mac Mini?
Have you not look up the Mac Mini, my dude?
Mac
You tell me if that is not like a clear-cut Mac Mini.
Mac Mini.
And then like you know what a shoebox is.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
Yeah. That sees it.
I sees it too now.
Or
Oh
maybe
my
a
goodness.
Tupperware container. That looks a lot like a Tupperware container.
That's- I
I've seen
said
before.
lunchbox.
Yeah, you're right. You
Yeah.
did. You said those things.
I
Take
said
that to
those
work.
things.
I
All
would
right.
take that to work.
Our next
Titan
one.
Robotics. Is that a company in the game?
Maybe. Not sure. Maybe
Cool.
that they might have pulled that from a clip somewhere and put
Yeah.
that on there.
Or they're just
It
a
seems
genius marketer.
Yeah.
That works too. Name generator, baby.
Ooh. Okay. Our next content is a Starfield Doom wallpaper.
This is really awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That
It's
is
made by Solo
ridiculous.
Hacker. He posted it on Reddit.
I hope we get a Doom guy mask option. For
I-
helmet.
God,
I
please.
think this is beautiful. This would be
This
an
is beautiful.
amazing suit to have.
I actually really like that art style. That's
Right.
amazing.
Yeah, I like it too. I like the Starfield here with like circled by other junk that's coming around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep, and the fires of space hell.
Oh, yeah.
Space hell. Way worse than Earth hell.
Yeah. It'd be better if these creatures down below were Maggot Mods from the game, but yeah.
What?
Maggot Mods are like we've seen them in the clips. They showed them fighting these. Well, they look like giant, I don't know, maggots with circular teeth mouths.
Oh, I see.
So
Yeah.
all right, and then next one is a custom Starfield mug from
Oh,
Puma
nice.
Thurman. She posted on Reddit. She made this for her husband because he heard her husband's talking excitedly about gaming with friends and playing Starfield. So she thought she'd make this for her. For him.
Damn.
That's cute.
Funny though, the Starfield or the Constellation logo is upside down.
Oh, that's funny. I wouldn't have even noticed that.
Yeah, I'm assuming she must have made this with it upright because you would have had to physically turn that upside down yourself in the thing. I don't know where you would have found it upside down otherwise. And then
Yeah.
maybe when she like posted the graphic that she made to get this created, it was posted upside down accidentally or it was inverted. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Maybe the mug printing process was
Yeah.
scuffed.
someone else did point that out. She thanked them for it, said she's actually gone to get it redone with it right side.
Oh.
up. So
Oh.
her husband is getting a very nice mug. I
Yeah,
like
no
this.
kidding.
I would buy this. If she had an Etsy with this would be great. I
Hint,
don't
hint.
drink coffee even.
Put anything in there.
Right?
Yeah.
Get your pencils.
Right? Water, go
Water.
juice, warp fuel.
Lots of go juice. Go fast, please.
This is really cool. Love that she made this for her husband. That was awesome. Very nice.
Take notes.
Okay, our next one. Someone noticed that there isn't really much Starfield themed like
Ooh.
phone cases or anything like that, so they made their own for their S22
Interesting.
Ultra.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so that's really cool.
Sick.
Yeah,
I don't know
I like that.
if they're gonna post the files anywhere, but I will post the link to
The
this
files.
right?
The date.
I don't have an
The
S22
files.
Ultra.
I don't have
so-
an S22 Ultra either, but anyone that wants it, there's now potentially a case you could get for it.
Yeah.
Reason to shell out $1,300 for a phone.
This was made by
God.
Phoenix King, also on Reddit. A lot of these are from Reddit, so
Of course.
but yes.
Dollar bills, baby.
Thank you, Phoenix King, for that awesome Starfield case that you noticed missing in the wild. Now there's
I don't know how you guys feel about the NASA punk style, but it gets me going in the morning, man.
I do like it. I really like it.
I want like everything to be NASA themed, and I kind of always really enjoyed how tactile all those button switches
Yeah,
are.
right.
The ones that are just
Yeah.
meant to last for millions and millions of button presses.
Right?
It's great for a phone case too. I feel
Yeah.
like a real good idea.
Give me a
for
big
that.
old square, man.
I've always
Yeah.
thought it'd be fun to have a computer case that has that as like its on switch, where you just like you lift the red protector
Yeah.
thing and then
Mhm.
flip the switch.
Maybe a key to turn it on or
Ooh,
something.
yeah.
Don't lose the key.
Dude,
And then your computer
don't
goes.
lose the key.
Uh,
I love that.
now you do the key to open the button, and then you press the button.
Oh, there you go. Key to open the switch, to open the protective switch. Flip the protective switch up. Then you press the switch, which unlocks the button to go.
Yeah.
4-step process to turn your computer on every day.
That's okay. I rarely have to turn my computer on. So yeah. Adam said, "Are you turning on a PC or are you starting World War III?" I'm sorry.
That's good.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, so this was crafted by Lazureus. He made the pistol that you see in a few of the clips that we've seen from the trailers and whatnot. It's I think they called it the Eon Gun. It said he would be posting the files for
Oh my god.
printing this yourself, so that'll be nice to have.
I like the rail thing they have for it. It's like
Yeah.
not a full. It's like it's little thing that pops up. That's cool.
Well, it looks like the magazine comes out and
Yeah.
everything. It's like a fully, it's kind of mechanized. So that's really nice. Next, we have a post from lededel. He found some exoplanet posters made by NASA. I'm going to pull those up right now so we can have a look at those. Because they're pretty cool. They're very retro.
Do they give Starfield vibes?
Kind of.
Oh, cool.
Right? And they're all free. You can download them in various sizes. If you wanted to go print them yourself, you can also just order a print, I believe.
Yeah.
There's some down here. So yeah, really cool posters. If you want to decorate your room with some cool NASA themed posters, good place to go get that. So
Got a spot behind my plant right here.
thank you, lededel,
Yeah.
for pointing this out, bringing this up to us. That's going to be
Yeah, that's
awesome.
really cool.
We have a post by MarcusSwedishGameDev. He noticed that Starfield dealt with one of his pet peeves in games with character creation. Basically, that it looks like you can respec your character
Oh,
at some point
God.
by going to a genetics
Thank
facility.
you.
Yep.
Oh,
Beautiful.
good.
Yep.
You never
the
know what
option
you're
is
gonna
there.
do.
Just let me have
Yeah.
access to the character creator at any time.
Right. If people don't want to do it, don't do it. And I think it's weird when people get upset about options like this existing in a game and be like, no, this shouldn't be it. It's like, well, then just act like it's not.
Just don't use it.
Right.
Don't
Just
use it. It's
ignore
literally
it.
there for your
Be that
convenience.
one guy that thinks that genetic facilities are evil and you won't step foot in them.
It's an RPG, so role play
Yeah.
that it doesn't exist.
What a concept.
Yeah. Same thing.
I keep talking about Baldur's Gate, but it's like really, really cheap to just re-roll your character,
Mhm.
redo your class, and
Well-
you can just do it anytime.
Baldur's Gate has actually brought up something like this with save scumming.
Yeah.
And people are really upset about it, that it exists in the game. And it's just like, it's one of those things, it's just like, then just don't do it. Let those who want to play that way. Great.
You can quick save during dialogue.
That's
It's
what
there
save
to be
scumming is. Right.
It's there to be save scum. Like
and people are afraid that, that's going to exist in Starfield. It's like, then just don't do it.
It's
yeah.
like if you want a specific playthrough and you want a specific result, of
Yeah.
course, like be exploratory about it because you're exploring the
Right.
game.
But if you
Yeah,
don't
but
want
if
to
you
play that
don't,
way, don't
yeah.
do it.
Like my
like,
first
oh, I know
playthrough,
this character.
I'm exploring every option, everything you can do via save scumming,
Yeah.
and then the next playthrough, it's just like cool. I'll know what I missed when I don't do it.
Right. And see, I'm the type of person who when I play an RPG, I do tend to not respect my character. I like to live with my decisions, but I respect that it's an option there.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
How very level-minded of you.
I guess I respect it. I enjoy that it's an option, just in case I did get myself way
Yeah.
in the weeds with my
Yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris build, who cannot fight worth a damn, and I need to beat a boss.
Better than
then I
starting
could go
over
to
again.
bed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I enjoy this. This is great. Thank you, MarcusSwedishGameDev, for noticing this and bringing that to our attention. Do more of that.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yep. All right. And I believe this is the last one. Someone came up with an idea or I wanted to kind of open this
Oh
up, but
my
they started it with this. Gorn-A-Phobe on Reddit thought it'd be great for mods for VASCO, right? Mods that change the appearance of VASCO, or at least one for Lost in Space robot for VASCO. I think that'd be cool if we had a lot of options for VASCO.
Yeah.
I do like the Lost in Space idea. That was amazing.
You could do the Fallout 4 robot builder. Did you ever do the Automaton DLC?
No.
You could literally find parts from every kind of robot in the game. So like your Protectrons or Sentry robots, and then like your Mr. Handies or whatever, and you can create your own robot and you can make any kind of combination. So
That's
you could
crazy.
make a Sentry robot with a Assaultron head. Or you could just do like the legs of a Sentry robot
And then
on
Mr. Handy,
Mr.
like
Handy.
flamethrower outside.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
That's really cool. But yeah,
So maybe they'll do that.
that maybe. And so I think that would be really cool. And I wanted to open it up as a question. Comment with a robot, a famous robot that you'd like for VASCO.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I'd be really interested to see some of the ideas that people have for various VASCO forms.
Yeah. I really like his shape though.
Oh, I do
Like,
too.
The designer, I don't know. It's
Nothing
just-
wrong with VASCO. It's just
What about Molly?
nostalgia.
You want-
Molly.
Molly.
Molly? Molly sure knows how to take a load.
Or Bosco.
Bosco and Vasco.
hmm
Just want Eddie back. Eddie. I never know if it's Eddie or Edie. The iBot in Fallout.
Oh, yeah.
Joe, I'm empty. I got no liquids left.
Well, that's good because we're on
I
empty.
got a full bladder though.
This,
Oh, yeah.
that was it. That's all for this episode. That was all for our community spotlight. I want to thank you guys for geeking out on Starfield with me. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, Adam, for showing up, and others who are here or watching or listening.
Hell
And
yeah.
remember, if you like this, to make sure to subscribe to the channel. Find us on YouTube and Twitch. Happy Pants. And make sure to like the video so others can find it. Maybe share it with someone else who's looking for some interesting Starfield content without spoilers or with spoilers. Sometimes maybe we'll do spoilers, but generally try to stay away from spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's our schedule, Joe?
Our
are we doing
schedule,
next?
right? Let's go back to the schedule. So, in another 2 weeks, which will be the weekend after Gamescom, we're gonna do an episode where we cover what happened in Gamescom and the Dev Q&A. And then 2 weeks after that, should be the 10th, we'll be doing our first impressions of the game. And maybe
So Gamescom,
Maybe
game
playing some
releases, and then another one.
Game, please.
yes, game please.
Now.
So we're excited. We hope you are excited, and we'll see you next time
Bye.
on Into the Starfield. Bye.
Bye bye.